Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching. The movie commences with William, the head of a Puritan household, standing trial in 1630s New England. He disregards those present as insincere Christians, while they accuse him of speaking against the Word of God. William's family comprises his wife Catherine, their eldest daughter Thomasin, son Caleb, and twins Mercy and Jonas. After being expelled from their New England plantation, they establish a small farm in the untamed wilderness. Once they've settled, Catherine gave birth to a new son, Samuel. One afternoon, while Thomasin is outside playing peekaboo with Sam, she covers her face to surprise him. But when she uncovers her eyes, Sam has vanished. The scene shifts to the depths of the forest, where a gnarled hand strokes the baby's body. Next, we witness a weathered old woman pounding some flesh-like substance before consuming them and spreading to her entire body. Afterward, the woman slowly retreats into the woods. Catherine becomes distraught after Sam's disappearance, and the family attributes it to a wolf attack. Caleb joins his father to go hunting for food in replace for their unsuccessful crops. In the woods, Caleb becomes gripped with fear, fearing that Sam's abduction was a punishment for sin, and he starts to worry about his own sinful tendencies, fearing they may lead to his end. William consoles his son, and together they set out to hunt. They found a black rabbit staring at them. However, when William fires his rifle at a rabbit, the recoil injures his eye, causing the rabbit to escape. Meanwhile, Thomasin is feeding the goats while the twins, Mercy and Jonas, frolic with a sizable black goat they've christened Black Phillip. William and Caleb return home, witnessing Black Phillip ready to tackle the twins. William quickly tames Black Phillip and returns him to its fence. Catherine emerges, furious about the early disappearance of William and Caleb. Thomasin, taking responsibility, falsely claims that it was her idea for them to go hunting. While Thomasin and Caleb are at the river gathering water, Caleb steals a glance at Thomasin and quickly averts his gaze when Thomasin notices him. Unaware of his intentions, Thomasin worries about her brother's behavior and consoles him. Mercy then joins them and playfully adopts the persona of a witch, accusing Thomasin of being one and blaming her for Sam's disappearance. Instead of denying the accusation, Thomasin decides to play along and begins to scare Mercy. She pretends to embrace the role of a witch, cautioning Mercy that there will be consequences if she continues to pester her. With their crops failing to thrive, William and Catherine discuss the idea of Thomasin being old enough to leave and serve another family. Unbeknownst to them, the children overhear their conversation. Feeling a sense of responsibility, Thomasin and Caleb take matters into their own hands and venture into the woods to hunt for food. As Caleb pursues a black rabbit, he becomes separated from Thomasin, who fell unconscious. While Thomasin makes it back safely to her father, Caleb still wandering on the woods. Lost and alone, Caleb stumbles upon a small cottage. From the doorway emerges a striking woman. She entices Caleb closer and kisses him before seizing his head with a weathered hand. Thomasin eventually discovers Caleb outside in the rain, clothless and bearing scars. Concerned, the family begins to fear that a malevolent force is enveloping them. In the barn, Mercy is whispering something to Black Phillip. Despite Thomasin's denials, Mercy and Jonas persist in accusing her of being a witch. While they are conversing, Thomasin is startled to a gruesome scene. Instead of milk, the goat spills blood. Meanwhile, William confides in Catherine that he has already arranged for Thomasin to serve another family. While everybody is busy at work, suddenly they heard a scream coming from inside the house. They witness Caleb screaming in pain, and the family gathers to pray for him. The twins accuse Thomasin again for being the witch that caused the disappearance of Sam and Caleb and turning the milk to blood. William somehow believes the twins and compels Thomasin to tell him the truth. Suddenly, Caleb begins to convulse and utter what seems like a prayer. Mercy and Jonas also writhe on the ground, appearing as though they are possessed. Caleb speaks, as if he is resigned to meeting his maker, and his voice calming down before passing away with a serene smile on his face. Overwhelmed with despair, Thomasin rushes outside to cry, only to be met with William's accusations of her involvement in Caleb's demise. In a fit of anger, she vehemently defends herself, suggesting that perhaps it was Mercy and Jonas who made a demonic pact with Black Phillip. William confronts the twins and begins to suspect that Thomasin may have been telling the truth. In an attempt to contain the situation, William locks his 3 surviving children in the barn with the goats until some resolution is reached. In the barn, Thomasin asks the twins if Black Phillip is really talking with them. The couple then bury the body of Caleb, with Catherine joining his son, not wanting to leave him. Later that night, the twins witness a pale, nude figure indulging in the blood of one of the goats. This creature, revealed as a witch, turns to face Mercy and Jonas, unleashing a sinister cackle that sends them into screams of terror. Meanwhile, Catherine encounters what appears to be Caleb seated in a chair, cradling Samuel. Approaching them, she attempts to take Samuel to breastfeed him, only to realize that it's actually a crow pecking at her. In the morning light, William wakes up to gruesome scene of the barn. The goats slaughtered, and Mercy and Jonas missing. As Thomasin rises, she witnesses Black Phillip charging at William, impaling him with one of his horns. William, seemingly prepared to fight, drops his hatchet, allowing Black Phillip to strike again, hurling him into a pile of logs that crush him. Catherine emerges, consumed by grief and fury, and directs her rage towards Thomasin, accusing her of being responsible for the family's tragedies. In a frenzied state, Catherine begins to choke Thomasin, who desperately professes her love for her mother. In self-defense, Thomasin seizes a nearby blade and strikes at Catherine until she falls lifeless. She embraces her and cries out of love for her mother. Thomasin enters the barn in solemn silence, donning a cloak before encountering Black Phillip. With determination in her voice, she demands an audience with him. After a moment of silence, the soft voice of Phillip responds, inquiring about her desires and offering what he can provide. Gradually, Phillip takes on a human form and beckons Thomasin to follow what he says. She complies, and together they venture into the woods. In the heart of the forest lies a gathering of women, dancing in the flickering light of a fire, their forms illuminated by the moon's glow. As the ritual progresses, the women ascend into the night sky, their bodies defying gravity. Thomasin, embracing the darkness that surrounds her, surrenders to their power and begins to float alongside them, ascending higher and higher above the towering trees. And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.